I've thought about this for a long time, and this isn't a tool review. This isn't how to build a project, how to repair. This is more of a personal insight in why I even started this, or how this even came about. Last thing I wanted to do was to be on YouTube, really. I've loved woodworking basically all my life. A little side story. When we first moved to California in '69, 1970, we bought the first house, which actually is still in the family, and I have it today. So somewhere about 70, 71, I remember getting a kind of dorky now, but I got a horse and a figure of the Lone Ranger. The horse and the action figure, and I'm telling you, it's got to probably be 16, 18 inches. It was pretty tall. I played with that thing all the time, but I really enjoyed the westerns and the cowboys and the war movies. I loved those growing up. That's what we watched all the time. So I had this action figure, and I remember one day thinking, you know what? All the movies I watched, they pulled wagon trains across the West. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, he needs a wagon, dude. So here I am, 10 years old, and I don't know where I got the wood, but I remember, I don't even know if my dad had a jigsaw. I might have cut these out by hand because they weren't very round. I think I used a coffee can to trace the circles, and then I cut it, made just a regular square box. I really wish I had that today. I think it would have been nice to have something that I made back then. I wish I would have had that Lone Ranger thing right now, because that's worth some money. Build a basic box, I think, and it was all like 3/4 pine. That's all it was. My dad had some pieces out for something. Maybe he made shelves for the garage at one time. But I remember cutting these 4 circles out that were far from being round. Made the box, made the bottom, and I used finishing nails with a hammer. When I got the box done, I made another piece. I think I cut a couple inches wide and stuck out about 1 inch on each side of the square box. Drilled holes as best as I get center in the circles. Put those on for wagon wheels. And in the front, I made just a T with a screw through it and a bolt so it would swivel, and just a bar going out. I mean, all I could do. And then I even went to the point of getting some pipe cleaners, getting one of my father's handkerchiefs, sewing the edges so I could feed this pipe cleaner through, drill holes on the edge so it'd be, this was the square, drilling holes, 3 holes in there, putting that pipe cleaner in, and I had a covered wagon. Now, 10 years old, I was out there doing this, and I think the drill was the only power tool I used. It was just a regular saw that I had to cut and sanded by hand to try to get it as round as I could. That was very difficult, but that was like my beginning. And I made this little covered wagon for my horse. Poor Silver had to pull this damn wagon around everywhere. Wasn't what it was meant to be, but he was doing it. And I mean, the action figure had lasso, had holster, had pistols, had coffee can, had a coffee pot maker. I mean, it had all this accessories, everything. So I could take the saddle off, set on the side, had these barrels and cups. I mean, it was cool. But that's my early entry to woodworking, and it really never stopped. Somehow I was more creative, and I had ideas when I was younger, and I think just life kind of overtook me as I got older. And I still build things, but I'm amazed at some of these people, and I'm just bugs. And I am just embarrassed that I don't have the level of creativity they have, and I'm amazed some of the stuff these guys and people on YouTube make, men and women. I mean, they have a beautiful gift that I wish I had an ounce of that to create and make some of the things. I make general stuff. I mean, cabinetry. I can frame my house. I can build a house from the ground up, except for I don't like sweating pipe. I'm not comfortable with that. I can do it, but I'm not comfortable. I have a plumber that does that. I can wire up pretty much it all, but I have an electrician that will take care of those stuff. And I don't do doors. I hate hanging doors. I could tell you stories about that. But I can build that house and frame it and drywall it and everything else. I like to build, and I want to get to the point where my shop is completely ready and I can do a lot more. But that's like my beginning of woodworking. But it kind of progressed after that. I remember making this long, almost T-bar style to carry our surfboards and stuff to the beach that hooked to my 10-wheel, or my 10-speed bike. You know, it was something like this, and I could hold like 4 surfboards in there, load them all up, bungee strap them, we head off to the beach, and I fabricated it with, I don't know where I got the wheels from. It might have been from another bike or something. But I was always creating and doing stuff like that. I mean, I very rough, but I still was able to do it. But in 2009, everything completely changed. My stepfather, who had the cabinet shop and I learned stuff from, and then his uncle we worked for doing BFA, and then they're doing a lot of building of the Jiffy Lubes in Southern California. I learned a lot from them. He passed away in February, so there's a lot of stuff going on as far as my company. Housing market slowing down. I was trying to figure out what the next step was going to be. Trying to help my mother now after his death. Then I had a chance to do some work in Santa Ana, so I started going down, staying with my dad down there. September, my mother-in-law had a heart attack. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, this is one of them bad years. So we're dealing with family, with her now. Trying to help my mom through all the stuff, going through all the tools and bringing some here, and trying to tell her, get rid of some, don't get rid of these. Then and then in November, my father passed away. I'm like, that was like, what the hell? I cannot handle no more. I am, stress does a lot to you, and for that much to happen in 1 year, I swear, I think I aged probably 10, 15 years in that 1 year. It just overloaded me beyond measure. So after that, I had to go through my dad's estate, go through all this stuff, year of courts, finally getting everything taken care of. Literally drained me of my money. I was making house payments, car payments, insurance payments till I got everything transferred. Well, after I went to all the courts and stuff, and I finally got everything into my name, and I actually had to quit work. I couldn't work no more and deal with all this stuff. So I quit work, shut everything down. I spent 3+ months working on my dad's house, and literally spent almost $42,000. That took all the money I had, but I mean, it came out nice. So if a contractor did that, and it was just my time, and that was just immaterial, but I did hire to do a few things because I was just so much going on. I had to have a little bit of help. But with a contractor doing that, and you're talking $42,000 in supplies, easily $80,000 to $100,000 to renovate what I did. You're talking inside and out renovating, completely cleaning the inside out, updating it, new toilets, new sinks, new faucets, completely repiped the house. Flooring down to, because the 1957 house, so you're talking 1.1/8 plywood flooring. Took it down to the original flooring, put all new floor in, but I kept the original wood floor, 1957, beautiful wood. Covered that in carpet, didn't want to ruin it. Refinished the cabinets, kept them, because that would have been another 20 grand. Put new cabinets in and be able to put in a dishwasher in. I didn't want to go more than I had to at the time, because it's like I'm running out of money. So got that completed. Took me about 4 months working on it myself, and then like I said, I had people help me on certain things that I had to have help on. I couldn't do it myself. Beautiful looking house. Came out really nice. I'm happy with it. But now I keep it and it's my rental. I actually finally paid it off this year. That was a huge relief, and that's a lot. You're talking about $253,000 on the house balance plus what I invested in it, put in it time, and I finally got it all paid off. But that was so consuming for that year in courts, and then working on the house, and then finally getting it rented. I came home, and it finally hit because I really had no time to relax. And it hit me. And I decided, and I told my wife, I'm not going to work. I'm going to take time off. I ended up not working for 2 years. A friend of mine, I love this guy to death. He offered me his condo in Hawaii. And I said, yeah, I needed a break. His father had passed after my father. His father was dealing with cancer for years, and it finally took him. When my dad died, it was right before Thanksgiving, so we didn't really celebrate Thanksgiving because now we had my stepfather and my father gone. My mother-in-law was recuperating from the stroke. My birthday is after that. I didn't even celebrate it because I literally had the services for my father, my birthday. And then Christmas, we didn't get out one decoration. I didn't want to deal with it. That was an extremely hard year, very hard year, and the year followed was just as difficult. So a year and a half of just all this crap going on, I needed a break. So April, he contacted me and he said, you're a good friend. We've been through this. You lost your dad, I lost my dad. So he goes, if you want, fly out there, I'll be out there. I'll show you guys around for a couple days. I'm going to leave, you got it the rest of the month. Like, cool. Dude, man, that's a friend. I love this guy dearly. He's just got a heart for people. So we went and did that, had some times for ourselves, and I know I broke down a few times still just because I really hadn't had time to relax and let it sink in. You're so busy dealing with the stuff. This was right after the tsunami, things were going on, because I remember that we were sitting there looking at that, wondering if we were going to be hit by a wave from that. And something stirred, so next thing I know, I'm heading off to Japan now. So that's how that started. Something about this is just pulled at me and says, go. I need to go help. Got some people together, we got a thing going, and off we went. I got back in August, and then the following year I took my mother to Texas, visited her family, because her and her husband would normally go, but now that he's gone, she needed someone to take her back, so I take her back, visit my grandmother. So now I'm reconnecting with my family in Texas and stuff. Even though it was a tragedy, it kind of ignited me to get back into the family and not worry about the money aspect no more. And I wanted to get back and start doing woodworking. That's where my love has always been, and I want to get back and doing it. So I started focusing on that thing. Okay, now I got to clean all my dad's crap out of my shop, because it's been 5 years since he died, and I used to be able to pull my rig in there and work on it. I used to park my cars in here every night. My dad died. I took everything out of storage, out of the house, everything, and put it there, and I have to go through it. This is my father-in-law's. Okay, this came way later. This last year when his wife passed away. We got this, put everything in there, and this is just his storage. All my dad's stuff is in my shop. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start taking this back. And the shack is something my mother called it, because my mother is very materialistic. I am not. I drive my old pickup truck. I love the classics. I got a 64 Ford Falcon Sprint in there. All this crap is in my shop, and I can't get to it. So, my mother. Now my mother, being materialistic, my place was never good enough for, because it's not home and garden issue style. You know, it's not the best, it's not all this, and that's not me. I'm not that way. I don't want people coming to my house, can't touch nothing, can't do nothing, because you don't want to destroy it, get it dirty, or move it. She saw this 30 by 70 workshop out here. She goes, "What's that shack out there? What's that thing?" When we were looking at it to buy, because she kept calling it just this trashy shack out there, it kind of stuck. So that's why I call my shop the Shack. No other reason. So this is Welcome to the Shack. Part of taking it back is getting my father's stuff out, trying to finally get rid of it. It's difficult, but I'm working through it. So part of that is updating my tools, and I haven't bought tools in a very long time. The table saws in there are from my stepfather from the cabinet shop. They're 50 years old. My chop saw that I had for eons, I got from my stepfather, but he gave it to me, was a Delta. And it's just not accurate no more. It's a pain in the butt trying to get it, so that's why I updated and got the new DeWalt. I was sitting here one day in there. I had just got my air compressor because my mother had sold the one I told her to keep, because my stepfather had like 3 of them. I told her keep one because I can use it on jobs. I'm kind of getting back into doing smaller jobs just for me, just for extra something to do. Not on the big scale doing this, but I do some bigger stuff just for people that I like, or for friends. I will do additions or something. But so I bought that, showed up, sitting out here. Some reason something hit me. It's like, okay, maybe I'm gonna try this just to see. So I got my phone, and I wasn't even thinking. I was filming it this way instead of this way, so it looks funky. And I did it first few times till I go, how come it's that way? And like, oh wait, dummy. So first few I did was just like this. I didn't even think about getting my camcorder out. So I got my phone and I just kind of went through it. And I know it was rough. I know it was kind of stupid and really whatever, you know. There was really nothing good about it. But that's how it started. And it took me a couple of weeks trying to figure out stuff on YouTube, how to get it set up, how to do the editing, because I had nothing. But something stirred in me, and I just wanted to help other people out. And it evolved, and I can't believe where it has led. And I can't go into a lot of that, but there are so many doors that have opened up. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's been an amazing 1 year, and I can't even begin to fathom what the next year or 2 are going to be. So that's how it started as far as me getting on. Something in me, and I just wanted to make a video for the consumer, not for any other reason that maybe somebody was looking to buy this, and I wanted to give a little bit of a overview, initial startup, and just how it works, and a little more information on it. Because I've seen a few out there and they didn't really say much. A lot of people will say, unbox it, here it is, yeah, it looks nice. Okay, I do that, but I also use it and I come back and make the video. So it takes me about a month before I actually produce the video, I guess. It'll show me unboxing it, but like my chop saw, I had the unboxing, and then a couple weeks later, because I didn't like the way it was coming out, I finally got what I wanted. But I had used it for a couple weeks, and I showed how to zero it in, and some of the things I come across already in a couple weeks using it, what I didn't like about it. Overall, it's great, but there are a few things I noticed that I had to do. That's why I started, because mainly for the consumer. I want to do these things, not that I was going to. I mean, actually, I was kind of freaked out when the first person subscribed. I'm like, why would you subscribe to me? Basically, I did it basically just for people to view. I wasn't looking for a subscription or anything. And that's gone crazy. I'm pushing, I think, my first 1,000 finally. I'm almost 900, so if I was more specific in just one thing, I'd probably do better, maybe. I don't know, but to me, this is life. Life has to do with everything. It's not specific. And my life is everything. I mean, I grew up camping. I grew up surfing. I grew up skateboarding. I got a variety of knowledge behind me for doing different things, because I worked in a lighting place for a summer. I did an upholstery place for a summer. I mean, because of the cabinet shop, all these guys around them, they're all friends. I worked for them in the summer stuff, so I got knowledge on a little bit of everything. Metal turning, I mean, welding. I've done welding, and I got 2 different welders. Worked on cars. I built my Volkswagens. I built my Chevy pickup. I had a 6.3 Chevy 2 Nova. So that's why my videos are about a bunch of different stuff. That's just the way I am. I can't be in one thing. I'm not grounded in one thing. I get bored. But I've always loved woodworking. Initially, that's what it's going to lead to. But this is my video log of me getting to that point. I didn't get it to be famous. Didn't get in it to be notarized or anything like that, because I have a major fear of being public and putting this in a public forum. And I've gotten bashed with some of my videos. People call me this, and that's why I hate saying it, but that's why I guess I try to say, if you're gonna make a comment, keep it clean, because you talk that trash, I'm deleting you. I don't need you. I don't need that, and I don't need the harassment. I'm not into it for any other reason than to help you and inform you. And I've had some very good support. I've had people with good comments. That I was at the point where I was going to shut it down and not worry about it. But it's been a good ride so far. It's been an amazing ride for just 1 year. For lack of a better word, I'm not an attention whore. I know some people are. I'm not. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing it because I want you to be informed, and I know some people are very thankful that I've taken that extra step in a little bit longer video and shown some things that you normally don't see. And that's what I do it. And that, in a nutshell, is why I do it. No other reason. Life, you never know what's going to turn. I was cruising right along comfortably. 2009, I hit that brick wall at 100 miles an hour, and everything stopped. And this is how I'm getting back on track. This woodworking, working in my shop, doing this stuff is therapeutic for me. Helped me finally get my life straightened back out and enjoying it again. Really enjoying it. And that's why I say, just get out there. Build it for a friend, build it for family, but build it for your sanity, because it does matter. So that's my life. Things happen. Why I got into this. I didn't want to get into it because of the ridicule, because of all the scrutiny and being in the public eye. But something within me stirred, and I wanted to do it. I'm glad I did it, even though it is difficult at times because of the ridicule and comments I get. And I do respond to everybody except when they're rude. And believe me, I bite my tongue. I want to blast them, but why? They're just jerks. You talk that kind of trash. That in itself speaks volume of your intelligence level and just exactly where you stand. So why waste my time? I truly appreciate anybody taking the time to view. I am very humbled by those who have subscribed, and that if you're going to subscribe to me, now I'm going to have to make sure I put out videos, at least help you in some way and inform you, so it makes it more of a challenge for me, because I don't know what I'm going to do from 1 week to the next. My goal is every 2 weeks. I get busy, it happens, and when I leave to go visit family, go cruises, when I go to Japan, if I can't schedule it or don't get it done in time, then it's usually a 2 or 3 week to a month gap for my next video. And because it's all me, and it takes time editing these, and it takes time to get them set up. And when I make mistakes, because I'm trying to think of the next move, where the camera's going to be, what I'm going to say, and it's easier for me just to do it, but then you miss a lot of it. So those who do subscribe, I'm very humbled, and I am very thankful, and I hope I do you justice and put out something that will inform you in some way. And again, thanks so much. Get out there, like I said, take it back your shack. Follow me as I take mine back. Build it for a friend, build it for a family always, build build it for your sanity. See you next video.